This is Kathy Biehl of EmpowermentUnlimited.net with Astro-Insight for the week of May 1st, 2023. Wait, May? Yep, you heard it right. We're in May already. And it's another tumultuous week. We start the month in the corridor between eclipses, which is a rocky, volatile place, and Mercury retrograde in the slowest possible sign, bringing confusion and second looks and tripping to all kinds of information and matters with an extremely practical, concrete impact. In the midst of this disruption and instability and confusion, we get a moment of personal understanding, personal clarity, one of those times when you feel at one inside yourself. Despite the hubbub, perhaps because of the hubbub, perhaps because of the retrograde, you understand something about yourself, your life, your identity, your purpose in an extremely tangible way. And this is your base for experiencing the rest of the retrograde, the rest of the month, the rest of Pluto's brief time in Aquarius, because he's stationing retrograde at the beginning of the week and will go back into Capricorn in early June, and for possibly the next 6 months, the rest of the time of influence of this week's lunar eclipse. That's a lot to keep in your brain. Just know that you're hitting a moment inside yourself, in your relationship with yourself, with your thinking, with your information flow, that has some staying power. This isn't one of those fleeting, oh, this is what I'm going to do, and then you shift back into old ways, although this might have an element of old ways to it. Whatever you come to grips with and wrap your brain around at the beginning of the week stays. All of this grows out of Mercury retrograde's conjunction with the Sun on May 1st. The middle of the week has a bit of an escapist vibe to it, a bit of an otherworldly, get me out of this place vibe to it. No problem if you succumb. Venus, the goddess of all we value, is squaring her higher counterpart in love and inspiration, Neptune, on the 4th, and she's also considering offers from her counterpart in indulgence, Jupiter, on the 5th, two aspects that pretty much ensure that a lot of people are going to be going off into their own coping mechanisms, gentle escapist mechanisms, daydreaming, streaming, looking for margaritas, allowing more and more indulgence and pleasure and variety and stimulation, because Venus is in Gemini, into their lives. And so what if you do? Because one of the most intense experiences of the year is coming to a head in the Scorpio full moon lunar eclipse, which is exact on the 5th and responsible for so much that we have been witnessing and experiencing in the past few weeks, and actually since November, because this one is really close to where November's lunar eclipse took place, except now the sun and the moon have switched positions. Changemaker Uranus is still with them, shaking things up, increasing the shocking nature and the liberating and awakening nature of so many of the revelations that are part of this eclipse. This is a tremendous time for you to take out the trash, to dump the garbage, to detox energetically and emotionally, as well as physically, to face the situations that have been teetering in your life since at least last November, probably escalating all of this year. And although the moon is non-rational, although Scorpio is non-rational and non-verbal, this event is equally acting on us in our consciousness, in our mind, and in the emotional and deep levels of our being. So you are likely to be congruent with whatever it becomes clear it's time to let go of, to purge, to release, to anything that leaves your life, especially suddenly right now. Scorpio's ruler is Pluto, at the doorway to the future that is 0 degrees Aquarius, and in a powerful evolve or die relationship with the nodes of destiny. So approach your life as if you are moving and clear out the stuff you do not want to drag along with you. The immediate aftermath, the social mode turns actually really sweet and nurturing by the weekend. On the 7th, Venus, the social director of the skies, moves into tender Cancer, where Mars has been uncomfortably for a while. Venus likes it there. It's easy to be a homebody, to cluck over people who you care about, to use food as a currency for affection, to cook, to share meals, and in general, just be a little more tender toward your fellow humans. And if the immediate aftermath of the eclipse leaves you with the feeling that you just prefer to cocoon, go do it. Homing thought of the week, let it go. Song of the week, I've got two. I'm Still Standing by Elton John and Fight Song by Rachel Platten. And the image of the week is, well, again, I have two. A hazmat suit, and pumping out a septic system. You'll learn more about this in my forecasts for the month of May and the Scorpio full moon lunar eclipse, both of which are at my site, empowermentunlimited.net, where you can also sign up for my mailing list and book a session with me. And don't forget, I've got a Mercury retrograde guide up at omtimes.com. I'm Kathy Biehl, a professional astrologer with more than 30 years' experience. I host the show Celestial Compass on Om Times Radio on the first and third Monday of every month at 5 p.m. Eastern. And my guest this week is Georgina Cannon, author of a book to which I contributed, Your Guide to Self-Discovery, 20 Ways to Find the Real You, coming out in May from Llewellyn. I host lively conversation on Facebook at Empowerment Unlimited and the group The Astro-Insight Lounge. I have lots of bonus content at patreon.com/Kathy Biehl, including introductions to Saturn in Pisces and Pluto in Aquarius, and I'm deeply grateful to the people who support my work there. I'm on Instagram at @KABiehl and on YouTube at the Professional Aquarian channel. Talk to you next week.